How to help any hypnosis client with the Mandel Model of Therapy. This video is all about being a better hypnotist and being prepared to help almost any client. And we're talking about the Mandel Model of Therapy, which is named after none other than...
Hi, I'm Mike Mandel.
And I'm Chris Thompson, and we run the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. And this is just going to be a great video. So,
well, it's interesting. Yeah. So
tell me all about it.
Mandel model is something that we teach in our live classes. We taught this to psychiatrists and doctors. They find it extremely useful. It's actually quite a simple thing. It's a metaphorical way of approaching a session with a client so you get the most done and you understand their position and help them at the same time.
And there are some useful presuppositions built into this model, right? Okay, so let's talk about the components of that model with the presupposition.
The presupposition that, first of all, the client is in a labyrinth of their own making. Now, a labyrinth comes from Greek mythology.
A maze.
It's a maze, and it's amazing. And when Theseus had to go into the labyrinth, which Daedalus created, to fight the Minotaur, which is half bull, half human, it was a terrifying place, you know, and there's a whole story in the making there. But the bottom line is this: the client is in a metaphorical labyrinth, largely of their own creation. You must realize people make changes in their life based on what they believe things to be. It's not events that changes. It's how we respond to events that changes us. And by responding in certain ways, people have built this labyrinth, this enclosure around them. Now, labyrinths are dark. They're scary. There's all kinds of tunnels and turns. There's doors that lead nowhere. They're easy to get lost in. There's monsters, repetitive patterns round and round. There's doors that don't work. And the real application is that's like a lot of people's problems. They're essentially in this thing they've created where they repeat the same patterns. They can't find the way out. It's scary. It's depressing. They need help.
And now, usually that solution doesn't come from inside.
It will never come from inside the labyrinth. Now, as therapists and hypnotherapists, what you probably want to do, the temptation is to leap into the labyrinth with them, kill a monster with the handiest sword or 357 Magnum, drag the person out into the fresh air and say, you're healed now, you're cured. That's not the best way to do it. It's not even possible.
I know we said ahead of time we'd probably do some real life examples. So the one that's occurring to me right now is, let's say there's a kid and he's in a classroom and his teacher's sort of scary. Gee, do you think we could relate to that one maybe?
So I could, yeah.
You could, of course, go grab the kid, pull the kid out of that solution, out of that classroom and fix it that way. But that's not really helping the kid. It's not
fixing it, right? It's avoidance.
But you can have the same environment, and if the kid can learn to think about it differently, just to the point of what you just said about it's how we represent things and how we interact with our environment.
Exactly, yes.
That is what we're talking about here. Okay, keep going.
So we put the client at cause. People were stuck in labyrinths, which may be just one area of their life. When I see a spider, I freak out. Or it can be a huge thing. Oh, my life is going nowhere. I'm pointless, a loser, whatever it is. They are at effect. Effect means they feel as though life is something out of their control that is happening to them. Right. And they're losing track of the fact, or have lost track of the fact, that they have behaviors they can change.
It's like other things in life are the cause and they are dealing with the effects and they are stuck. Whereas what we want to do instead is put people at cause.
So they're the ones making the decision.
They're the cause of whatever it is that the effect that they want is.
Right. So the pre-frame is they're stuck in this labyrinth. We have to put them at cause. So they take steps for their own healing, their own change. And the client must defeat their own minotaurs, their own monsters on their own. Now, that will put them at cause. When they overcome their own problems, that gives them an immense power. Our job is to equip them, to give them the weapons, the knowledge, the information they need, and the encouragement to make it all work. So we don't enter the labyrinth, we're on the outside, but we shine the light on the pathway out.
We point towards the resources and towards the exit.
Towards the exit.
Right. Well, the pathway could be a resource,
that's exactly right, Chris. And we de-traumatize first. Now, what I mean by that is if there is any trauma on the surface, okay, I'm depressed. Okay, tell me about it, whatever it is. I'm afraid of spiders. It doesn't matter what the thing is. If I'm seeing something on the surface, a fear, a stress from the past, I'll ask about it. And if there's a clear problem in the past, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of that. Because we always say, if you're going to build a big, beautiful new house, you don't build it on top of an outhouse. You got to dig the outhouse out first, make a new foundation. You don't try to build powerful things on top of trauma and crap.
Yeah, or instead of an outhouse, I'm thinking of like a big septic tank, polluted field or something. You got to clear out all that old stuff.
Right.
Put new, fresh dirt, cement pad, build from there.
And we're going to find out, how do you know you have a problem? When do you know you have a problem? When does it affect you the most? And we can then treat this trauma, psychological problem quickly with them, putting them at cause, showing them how to run fast phobia cure, which is the rewind technique, timelines, any of the tapping modalities,
regression to cause,
right, with deep trance, regression to cause, idiomotor signals to find problems. We help them let go of the negative emotion, which builds a tabula rasa, which is a clean state, a clean slate as well. And they can now move on from there and build in some power. Now, when you adopt this model, it allows the clients, it teaches the clients, and we're mostly educators, to take responsibility for their own change and celebrate their own victories. Because when they kill a Minotaur, they are woohoo and feeling amazing, and you can let them loose on the world.
That's absolutely correct. Now, what you'll find is in everything we teach, we have videos on YouTube all about things like the session should be interactive. Well, that speaks to this model, right? Because if you do this whole, oh, just close your eyes and I'll just talk at you or read you these magic words on this script, that's not really having the client be at cause. That's not involving them. That's not having this psychodynamic relationship where you're actually getting information out of them, feeding it back, pointing the light in the labyrinth, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure that you understand the basic skills of hypnosis, including what questions to ask your client, and then understand this model so that you can put all the tools that you have as a hypnotist into that model. Anything that you do will fit into that model and help your clients achieve victory.
Excellent. And when you're in the session, always ask them, what's next?
All right.
When you ask what's next, it puts them back in control.
This has been a fun video. We are Mike Mandel, Chris Thompson. Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy is where you can find more of what we're doing. We'll make sure there's a link in the description under this video for you to start for free with the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. It's awesome. And we hope to see you in there. So thanks again and good night.